in clutch games, within 5 points, within 5 minutes. This was right there. Again, the Sixers have been playing really well. They had been 5-2, I believe, in the games where Paul George played. Paul George did play. They've been playing relatively well with, regardless of Embiid being in and out of the lineup. And they were in good position here, but now. And he was mid-silencer, given the silencer. He hadn't even got to the part where he pounds his chest yet. And I think it was Jackson Hayes came over and pushed him in excitement. And I was like, Jackson, I think it was Jackson Hayes. You are messing around with LeBron not being able to finish that celebration, buddy. He will get a talking to later. But anyway, Bontemps, you were there. A vintage LeBron performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting to see how this game went because if you watch the game on Thursday in Toronto, the Raptors, although they lost the game, are a big physical team across the board. And they have a lot, it's got Scotty Barnes and all these other long, rangy athletes, Brandon Ingram even, right? And LeBron struggled with that length on Thursday. And I thought it was noteworthy that
he struggled to the point where he had his lowest scoring game in 1,200 games.
First game, he'd been under 10 points in 17 years.
In the regular season.
Good context.
Because he's had 2 single-digit games in the playoffs in those. McMahon, I know you were at one of them because I was.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely one of them. And I'd forgotten about the other one. I looked it up, but forgotten about the other one against Indiana. But yeah, obviously the one in the final.
That was a game. I'm sorry. Quick aside.
Yeah.
Game 5 of the 2011 finals, where it was 2-2 and LeBron had 8 points. Probably, in my opinion, the worst performance of his career.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mavericks won that game. Could have gone either way. Mavericks won that game and then won Game 6. And then there was a game in Indiana during one of the Heat Indiana series where everything just went wrong and he fouled out. That's all you need to know is he fouled out of a playoff game. He also had, I think, 7 points in that game. That was in 2013 or something. All right, sorry, Bontemps. I'm sorry.
But there is one streak that remains intact. LeBron, I don't know the exact number, but it is a ton of games in a row that he scored in double figures with our buddy Mac 10 in the building.
That's true.
And in the United States.
Oh,
that's true. It is in the lower 48. It is still intact. And also, I'll tell you what, 2 streaks that are, I think his 2 most incredible streaks were the 1,200 whatever games of double-digit scoring.
It was 1297.
What's that?
I believe it was 1297.
Okay. And 21 consecutive seasons on the All-NBA team that is going to go away, not because of his performance, but he's not going to get to 65 games. So, sorry, Bontemps, I'm stomping all over you.
Oh, no, it's all good. It might also go away because of his performance, too. We'll see.
Well,
but he's not going to be eligible either way.
Yeah, even if he averages triple-double the rest of the way, I don't think he's getting 65 games.
But regardless, I thought it was noteworthy. I asked Nick Nurse about it after the game. The Lakers very deliberately, I thought, got LeBron going by posting up on the smaller Sixers defenders and got him some shots in the paint and some easy turnaround jumpers, practice shots for him. And you could see him get some confidence and get going and forward, but he's still an incredibly smart player. Nick Nurse talked after the game about how they have probably 2 of the 3 best passers in the league, and Luca and LeBron, and they're both gigantic. And so that physicality they can play with really can make it hard on teams to try to guard them. But, it'll be interesting to see what happens when LeBron plays against more teams with size. Like, for example, let's say Victor Wembanyama's back and they're playing the Spurs in the Cup. I don't know where Victor's status is right now, but
he practiced on Sunday. I don't know how extensive the practice was.
So they've got till Wednesday to get him right. But if they've got Luke Cornett and Victor Wembanyama and Harrison Barnes and Keldon Johnson and Carter Bryant, all these.
Stephon Castle, I believe, is also close to coming back. They might have both of them by Wednesday.
Yeah, so I'll just be interested. I think that'll be something worth watching. If there is opponents where he can take advantage of his size and sort of get in the post and make hay, I think he's going to look good. But I think it remains to be seen about some of the burst stuff. I was looking at his shot chart, and today he hit a lot of jumpers, and through these first several games, he's shooting way less at the rim than he ever has. It's a lot of mid-range shots, a lot of floater shots, a lot more threes, because he doesn't have at least right now, doesn't have the same ability to get in the paint. But on this night, where the Sixers couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Joel Embiid missed 1 million shots. Tyrese Maxey missed 1 million shots. LeBron hit all the shots down the stretch, and that was enough to win these guys the game.
Right, and they need LeBron to be a really good third option, which tonight Reaves stunk. LeBron picked up the slack, but it's silly to judge LeBron based on the standard that he's set over the previous 2 decades. He's not going to be that player. Honestly, the Lakers don't really need him to be that player. I would say, they need defensive upgrades more than anything else at this point. But if LeBron is a good third option, then the Lakers are one of the league's more potent offensive teams as long as Luka and Reaves stay healthy.
Yeah, so LeBron is shooting career low percentage of his shots at the rim on Temps. It's been a sort of a downhill dive. I mean, there were years where LeBron took as much as 46% of his shots in the restricted area. Okay, I mean, that's been a decade ago, but that was his high watermark. He almost half of his shots in the restricted area. Number of years where he took over 40% of his shots in the restricted area. 2 years ago, 35% of his shots in the restricted area. Last year, 24%. So far this year, and this was going into tonight. Now, it might even be lower because you were saying he shot almost all jumpers.
I think he had 4 of his 17 shots in there, so it's probably slightly higher, but he was at just under 19% before tonight,
right.
so he's probably still under 20.
Right, so 35, 24, under 20%. Small sample size, only played 7 games.
You know what, though? You know who else is shooting? And I'm looking at the Basketball Reference numbers here, 0 to 3 feet. I assume that's where you're looking.
Yes, Basketball Reference.
Luka's also shooting a career low from that range, and it's 0.085, which is almost half of his career norm. And I think one thing we have to consider is what's the spacing like for the Lakers. Now, Ron being 40 has a lot to do with his as well, but like Luka is as felt as he's been since at least early in his career, if not ever. I think part of this is the Lakers aren't a team that has great spacing in terms of shooting.
Well, they are, they are 17-6. We've talked on the pod this fall about how the Lakers are outperforming what their stats say maybe they should be. They are 10-3 on the road, and they are 8-0 in these clutch games. These are streaks that, are tough to maintain. But part of the reason why they're able to do that is because, and I know LeBron's only been there for 7 games, but in this case, in this game, it's because they have multiple options to go to at the end of these close games. So, Reaves has won them some games this year with his shot making down the stretch. He was terrible tonight. His worst game of the season, 3 of 16. Yep. I was actually listening to the game for a while on the Lakers radio broadcast, and they were talking about how they felt that Reaves' legs were a little dead his 3rd game in 4 nights, which Luca missed a couple of games on this trip because congratulations to him. His 2nd child was born, his 2nd daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron sat out the game in Boston. So Reaves was the guy who was sort of carrying the load a lot, and they felt his legs were a little dead tonight. Luca, 9 of 24. He did get to the free throw line 14 times. They were double teaming him late in this game. I think a couple of times the ball went to LeBron coming off of a blitz of Luca.
No, Nurse said that was the game plan. They decided they were going to try to get it out of his hands, and they had made a couple plays out of it, and the Lakers made a couple more, and that was the difference.
Right. So they did a great job on Reaves, and Reaves is tired. They did pretty good job on Luca, 31 points, but 24 shots. And LeBron cooks them. Like, this is the thing with the Lakers. When LeBron is healthy, having LeBron as your third option, and let's be honest, okay, he wasn't tonight, but LeBron's been their third option for the most part this year. And when you've got the all-time leading scorer as your third option, you're going to be potent, and you're going to have some options in close games.
And it's also worth saying that the Sixers shot 35% and shot 15 or 16 more shots than the Lakers and lost, right? They also just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Joel Embiid in particular, he was, I believe, 4 for 21, I should say, in the game. Missed all 6 threes.
Jackson has this stat. He was 2 of 17 outside the restricted area, the worst of his NBA career.
Yeah. So, he just couldn't hit a shot. But hey, look, like I said, Luca wasn't great. Reaves wasn't great. Tyrese Maxey wasn't great. Joel Embiid couldn't hit his shot. But at the end of the day, LeBron hit all these shots and they won. And yeah, like you said, man, their underlying metrics aren't great. They're still tied for 19th in defense. They're still in the middle of the pack in net rating. They've won all these clutch games. It's not really sustainable. The defense, I think, is going to be something that's going to be a problem when they have to play high-level teams. Like if they play the Thunder, like we saw in the game they played the Thunder, it didn't go great. But when you have Luca and Austin Reaves and LeBron, and you've got three guys you could throw the ball to in the closing minutes of the game, like they're not going to win every single clutch game, but like those guys are going to make a lot of plays and they're going to win more games than they're not. So that's going to allow you to make up for having some deficiencies defensively and not having so much shooting, et cetera. And it's probably going to cause them to win a lot of games in the regular season. But, that's where we'll see if they can make some moves during the season to add some depth. And we'll see if LeBron can start to play better. Because while I agree with you, McMahon, if he's a good third option, that's fine, especially with the way Austin Reaves has developed and taken yet another step this year and been awesome. They're going to need more. They're going to need the athletic LeBron if they want to have a chance in the playoffs. If it's this version of LeBron, they're not beating any of the high-level teams, I don't think, if he's not able to move much at all. But it's also still training camp for him, arguably. So